I can make it.
We're getting home at 118 or something. Time travel's real.
Like NASCAR's how they.
It's over a mile long.
If you're not drafting,
Yeah, but it's getting late, dude. We got fireworks. Yeah, but it's getting late. Monday night. Hey, at least it wasn't Wilkie. Put you off.
I mean, I can tell you from the difference between the wingless and the car, the wing car is easier to drive.
Guys like that yeah, so
Cheers. Cheers.
I'm not drinking.
Yeah, I'm not good. I don't know.
Not as.
Yeah, if it was cold, it'd be a lot better.
It is actually pretty smooth.
Yeah, that might have caught me on.
That's actually not as good as I thought it would be.
That window grip is a little bit of
racers, but this is gonna click. Yeah. Obviously. And then it clicked for everyone. It's like, dude, get away from me. Yeah. And I was like, yeah. So you just gotta rub this the wrong way. Drinking water.
I'm a little toasty. Sibby is, I guess, mad at me. I'm gonna cut this part out, so I can just turn this off. Yeah, we're gonna get drinking here after the wing cars.
Loose lips start to fly.
Yep, that's the best part of the bench racing podcast. Not the first half hour, the second half hour.
When the buzz kicks in.
Yeah, when the buzz kicks in. So, all right, yeah. So we'll
Tighten the belts one last time because we're coming to green in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of the Bench Racing Podcast, the very last episode of 2024 with our special guest, Tres Mehler. Thank you so much for joining us, Tres.
No problem, buddy. Appreciate you having me.
Oh, man. Chasing you all year. Well, I feel like it was 50-50 in the steel blocks at Circle City. It was back and forth, back and forth. But yeah, so we'd like to thank DJ Gummy for that awesome song. Dylan Umness, which is Nathan's crew chief's son. Thank you, Dylan. And also thank you to Carla Fetter and Roots and Relics for this awesome American Sprint Car Tour t-shirt. $12. So check that out. And yeah, so we had a great episode planned out for you. Thank you, Autumn, for the 200 stars. I heart you. There we go. And yeah, so let's get into the episode here and get to know a little bit about our guest, Tres Mehler. So, Tres, how long have you been racing?
I think we just finished up my 27th year. I think is what that's kind of crunching some numbers. I think it's been 27 years. I think next year will be number 28. So it's been what? That was my second full year just doing the sprint car stuff.
Okay. Wow. Second full year with the sprint cars.
Yeah. We did, what was it? 2022. We caught the last 6-7 races with steel block sprints.
Okay.
To finish the year, I was in Austin Hawkins Motorsports number 5A.
5A. Okay. Do you like that car?
It rips. Yeah.
It
It's
rips.
like, that was the one that the steel block guys quickly like realized. They're like, okay, this guy's showing up with carbon and titanium in a brand new, like, it was a 2022 like DRC. It was legit. It was ex Chase Stockton car. Like, it was
Nice.
It was all the bells and whistles. It was a sweet
There you go.
piece. I loved running it. I keep hoping that I'm gonna get to jump back in it here sometime soon with the aluminum variant underneath the hood.
Ooh. Yeah, aluminum is fast, or way lighter and faster. Way, oh yeah. But the steel black stuff's good too. Really good. So yeah, so you got 27 years of racing. So how did you start racing?
I started in quarter midgets. Kind of the fun story or background on that. My dad was a fender car street stock guy. Ran bombers at the Red Hill Raceway. Ended up tearing a car up with a for sale sign on it, attempting to sell it to get me into the quarter midget stuff. We did the quarter midget thing for a while. Jumped into junior sprints. We ran really good on the national level with the NMMA back when that was a thing in the junior sprints. Jumped from that to a restricted micro and won my first, I think technically that was my first track title. When been like 2005 restricted micro at Coles County.
Okay.
And then I really just cut my teeth at Coles County up until I was 13 or 14, and Dave Sheridan of 500 Motorsports gave me a shot in a modified. We went to a night with us in Linton, Indiana to watch a feature, and I don't even remember what happened. We were running up front. I tore the left front off on a tractor tire and literally like just cranked the right rear shock all the way down and finished the rest of the race just toting it.
Oh man.
I think we ended up second or third. I don't remember. I knew we still finished up front. We didn't lose any spots, but he said after the race, he's like, "All right, buddy, it's time for you to get behind the wheel of a modified." So we ran with him for a while, did the modified thing. That was, of course, back before there was B mods. So it was like, as a 14-year-old kid, you just got to run A mods with these, grown ass men right out the hit.
Yeah. With high horsepower too. Right?
Yeah. And everybody like this monster motor on this little 8-inch tire. And it's like, good luck, buddy.
Yep.
and of course,
you learn throttle control.
Yeah. I cut my teeth in Flora, Illinois, which is a 3/8. So you're we didn't start out running bull rings or anything to break me in. It was just instantly flying around a 3/8 mile in a modified. Did that with Dave for a few years. That was about the time my granddad bought me my parents and my granddad, we kind of all went together, decided we want to do a few years of modifieds and try some really nice equipment. Mm-hmm. And we got our hands on a new Bob Pierce car, motor that was a hitter. We did summer national stuff, all the big UMP modified stuff here in the Midwest. We did that for a couple years. I clearly didn't win enough because my mother said I had to go to college and get my degree. So that,
oh, moms,
that killed that out. But, I thank her for making me make that decision every day. Now, went to school, still ran some modified stuff while I was in school off and on, not near as much as I could. Graduated school. When I finally did, I stayed down around St. Louis area for a couple of years, moved back home, and I had a local bar owner here in town had gotten a micro for his son, and his son decided he didn't want to run it. He's like, "Hey man, you used to run pretty good in the micro stuff. You want to jump in this and give it a whirl?" And that sent me back down the open wheel path of running micros for a couple of years, and then eventually building a steel block sprint car I built my original steel block sprint car to run at Charleston, Illinois. Okay. They were doing a weekly steel block class. That was
how was that?
It was I'd went a couple times and watched. Eric Parrott in the 45 car runs 305s, helps me out a ton. Shout out to Eric. I always appreciate his help and guidance and helping keep me on the track. But I went with Eric a couple times to Charleston and seen the modifieds run around there, or the steel blocks. And of course we were still kind of running a modified then too.
Okay.
And was like, man, this would be something fun. So we tried throwing a car together and had tons of issues with it. Like every time we took it to the track, something else would break. And that was just
Makes you question why you do it.
yeah, it was just the result of buying cheap rear end, cheap steering gear, cheap. I had a mag go bad, injection was junk. Like it was one thing after the other there for a while. I think it was probably late 2021. I took the Power High, I think was at Charleston, and we took one of the midgets. One of the next level midgets and my steel block sprint car to run with. It was like a double header with, I don't know what the sprint car class was. I think it was Boss maybe.
Okay.
It was Boss and Power Eye midgets. And I mean, both of my cars were so much just junk. I mean, nothing ran right. Like, everything is like they waved the green flag in the midget race, and I stood on the gas, and I was getting lapped by turn 3, and I was like, "This is a waste of time." Like,
oh man. So hey, that's like usually how it all starts, right? Is you don't have like the best equipment, but you work your way up to getting the best equipment. So you said that the junior sprint was your first track championship?
I think we won the junior sprint championship at Coles County, if I remember right.
Okay. How many track championships do you have?
Oh shoot.
Put you on the spot.
I'm looking above me right now. I've got plaques on the wall. It's
nice.
I think I'm at 7 or 8 now.
7 or 8. Nice.
7 or 8, and of course last year's Steel Block Series. Like I'm not counting that one. That wasn't a track championship. That was series championship. There was a few years there at Coles County for non-wing micros. We cleaned house pretty good. My good buddy Cameron Romack was always he was the DC crane before.
You're making me blush. All right,
have throwdowns with Cameron, and I've thrown. I've got some trophies out in the shop too. Like I've gotten second in just as many title runs as I have first, because it never fails. Like, and once again, typically I've been super blessed in the sprint car stuff to have really nice stuff that I'm unloading at the track. But the other 25 years of my career, there was a lot of times that we were unloading stuff that was far from top tier, and it was just kind of get by with what we got, run where we can run, and at the end of the year comes down, it's like, holy shit, we're leading the points, and then something breaks. Like, I think we had a Wayne City, Illinois micro title completely wrapped up with the Hart Series, and I had 3 weeks and I went through 3 motors, and it's like I don't even know what to do. Like, somebody get rid of this voodoo doll. Like it's coming after me hard right now. But
how'd you get rid of it?
Yeah, I just
don't know.
Just keep working. You keep putting motors on and pray that something stays together. I'm pretty sure I finished that year with a motor that had like 42 nights on it, and it smoked so bad we called it Old Smoky.
Smoky.
And it would literally, like, you'd start it up for engine heat, and it would burn off a quarter of a quart, which they only hold like 3.5 quarts anyway. But it would burn a quarter to a half quart sitting there getting warm. And then once the motor was warm, it like the valve train, everything would tighten up, and it'd quit, like the seats would grow and everything, and it'd quit smoking. So then you put another half quart in it before you started racing for the night.
and those are the memories that you remember, not when you rolled the car out and it was like, how'd the night go? It went perfect. We swept it. Everything was great. No challenges. No, the Old Smoky ones are the ones that go good. Oh man. All right. So we got here Joe G. Thank you so much for tuning in. Scott. Yep. I melted the butter. Thank you for tuning in. And hi, Megan. Because I know she did not want me to say that when Scott comments, but I did. Okay, I'm gonna hopefully I pronounce this right. Court Mehler?
Court. Yeah, that's my brother.
Okay, nice. Listening over the big speakers at the Woods Event Center while setting up tables and chairs. Yeah,
he's probably listening at the Woods Event Center and Bar. That's
nice. Is that the
happening spot? Yeah, it's
nice. That's your brother that opened his bar.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. That's Court's place. It's I think the only place in the 3-county area where you can always guarantee to have dirt track racing on the TVs.
Yes. What town is that in?
It's in Stoy. It's between Oblong and Robinson. It's in Stoy, Illinois.
Stoy. I'm gonna have to remember that forever driving through. I know where I'm stopping to loosen up the driver on entry.
You ever you ever come down and run Red Hill? You're gonna have to just stay the night there in Robinson and close the place down with us.
Oh, we can do that. Yeah, we can definitely do that. Are there any dates on Red Hill yet?
I haven't seen any. I was hoping to see one on the 305 schedule.
Okay.
I'm still really heartbroken that we ran out of gas on that deal.
Yeah.
It was like, that's a bad luck.
How many laps to go?
10. It was way early. It was
too early.
We ran steel blocks the same night, and I was like running on a skeleton crew, and apparently we just forgot to put fuel in it. I don't.
That's
happens.
the worst. That's the worst. Autumn here taking notes. Red Hill, got it. Yep, add fuel. Write that in the book of how to make a car go fast.
Yeah. You need enough fuel to get to the checkered. That's very much required.
Oh man. All right. Let's see here. So we kind of talked about your racing past. Let me ask you this. What's your favorite car that you've driven? What's your favorite car? Whether that's a specific car, chassis, or discipline.
My favorite car ever. I'm pretty. I really enjoy the old 55 that I got to run this year for Jason and Dan Metzinger for an old car that really flat out gets it when it wants to. It doesn't have quite the. It's not got quite the wide margin sweet spot that some of my newer sprint cars have had.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of those deals that it's about like, you're shooting
this big and you're like, oh.
You're kicking the football at goalposts that are about a foot wide. But when it's on, man, it rips. It rips really good. My CS9 as a wing car really came around this year. We finally really got it dialed in as a wing car. It was fun. Austin's DRC, my DRC, both awesome race cars. My micro stuff when I ran the D1s, absolutely ripped. I ran a Beast Midget for a while, a D2 Beast Midget. That was a 4-bar that everybody told me was going to be slow as molasses, and it was an absolute riot. And we put grandma in it, and she'd run up front like it was. It was the most awesome handling car ever.
Could just drive it anywhere you wanted.
Oh yeah. It had that Focus, that Ford Focus motor with a hand clutch. Yeah. So you'd just bury it into the cushion, and as soon as it bogged, you just reach down and drop it, and it just right back the other end you go.
Jeez. All right, so that's the speed secret of those Ford Focus Midgets.
That's it. Just drop the clutch all the time.
Oh. All right, so you enjoyed all of them. I noticed all open wheel. Yeah, I don't remember. Not a modified guy.
I have a favorite modified. Yeah, it's actually
modified. Okay.
I just rescued it from the scrapyard probably about 12 months ago now. It's sitting over at my grandma's garage. Somebody took it to the scrapyard to have it cut up, and I couldn't let them do that to it. It's got a. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. It's been sandblasted, and it's got rust holes in it, and it needs like a lot of work before it could ever see a track. I actually still have the entire body to hang back on it. Wow. The last body that was on
it. Like the body you had on it?
Yeah, the last body that I had on it. I still have it. But yeah, I got it back.
Okay.
Maybe someday when I'm about, old and don't have the brain to get back in a sprint car again.
Yeah. When they have the vintage modifieds out there.
Yeah. Slapping old 602 go E-modison maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. What's your favorite track?
My favorite track. I do love Tulsa Expo, Chili Bowl Shootout. Those are both places that I really love that track. It's a lot of fun. I'm a super huge fan of Putnamville now that it I say Putnamville was like one of my least favorite tracks in a modified, but in a sprint car, I absolutely love it. It's like, it's an absolute blast in a sprint car.
Lincoln Park to me is that one that's a little intimidating for me in the shoot. Really? yeah, you say like, oh yeah, you're set to kill, when you attack a corner. But yeah, killing at one track is just like slapping something at Lincoln Park. Like, you really have to drive it, especially on that cushion that's like this tall or whatever it is.
Rolling out at Lincoln Park and just looking down into turn 1 and seeing a 2-foot mud wall and knowing that it's like, that's probably going to be the line. That's where I got to enter on.
Yeah.
That's like Cale Drake out in the parking lot for the USAC show. Like,
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It can get anybody. Like, it's just an angry.
Like, I used to shake coming off at Angel Park.
Yeah.
Like, after qualifying or whatever, I'd come off and I'm like, my hands are like that. Ever since running Lincoln Park, like coming off of Lincoln Park, I'm like, okay, it got up there, but it didn't bike all the way. So, you said Red Hill's another good track you like?
Red Hill. We had those few steel block races we had in Red Hill in 2023. Me and Michael Clark just running the top a foot off the wall as hard as both of us could run was about as much fun as you could have. A little unnerving, but honestly, like after you do it for 2 or 3 laps, you completely even forget that
the wall
you're hauling the mail and you're inches from completely junking something. And once you kind of get that out of the way, it's a lot of fun. I used to love Terre Haute and the Modified. And Terre Haute and the Modified just felt like you were kind of driving down the freeway.
Yeah, that's big. It was
a lot of fun.
Big, yeah. Nice. And then what's your favorite track and car combo?
Track and car combo.
Yeah. Did a little bit of best of 2 worlds there.
Probably I really like running the steel block car at Circle City.
Steel block at Circle City, okay.
I mean, steel block at Circle City is a lot of fun, especially like when we just get the cushion shoved clean to the wall.
Yeah, like that first night.
Just every couple of corners, you can just feel yourself bump it, and you're like, don't do that again.
Yeah. Back it off 2 feet. Back it off 2 feet.
Lock it up. That's a lot of fun. I enjoyed the non-wing sprint car at Red Hill too. Just running.
Okay. Yeah.
I really enjoy non-wing sprint cars when we get to run the fence.
Okay.
Like anytime you get to run anything non-wing, we ran a steel block car in the aluminum 410 class at Kokomo.
Okay.
End of 2023, and that was a blast. Kokomo is so much fun in a non-wing sprint car. You can just flat. It's fun in my 305 too. You can rip it.
Yeah.
I like the
Kokomo.
I like the 305 on the short track stuff, like 305 wing stuff that you can get like dicey and racy, and it's not so much just like keep it tucked in flat to the wood and the big track wing 305 stuff on. I really struggle, and I think it's just I just get bored.
When we ran Kokomo in the 410, we were still trying to figure out the car setup, so it wasn't. But now I'm like, man, I wish, knowing what I know now, I'd go back and I'd bury it. Bury it. We got David Crane here. 1, 2 Circle City drivers, 2 great drivers. Oh, thank you, DC. I hurt you.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Yep. Oh, man. He'd call me up. Oh, Trey said there's no way Derek's going to win tonight. And he went out and kicked your butt. Now, what are you going to do, Derek? And I'm like, show back up and do it again, I guess. I'll give her heck. So the crazy thing was like you made that non-down 2 car so fast.
Yeah,
that's the only car we beat you in.
Yeah, and which non-down tube? My CS9.
The orange one.
The 87.
Yeah,
the 87 Nance car. When it's like, if it's super slick, I pick that car over just about anything. But if there's any sort of a curb, it just does not like to enter on a curb. And that's been my only complaint with it. And I went to the drawing board. I got some things that we're going to try this next year with it. I tested some stuff at Jacksonville with the throwbacks.
Mm-hmm.
And we waxed them pretty good that night. So I was just going probably, 1 foot into the pool, and now I need to jump 2 feet in to try some more stuff with it.
Yeah.
I think if I could get a notebook on how to get it to rip a curb, it would be a
Your
really
car
solid
choice.
car. Because
It'd be your-
yeah, because its forward drive is amazing. It's
You're doing
That's
wheelies
the-
half the time.
yeah, it and it's kind of like we ran Coles County with the throwbacks in it, and it can be slick and it'll still jerk a wheelie. Like it's just the forward drive in it gets. Always tell Dad, I was like, it goes into vortex mode. Like you just get that, like like you're
Out
taking
to the
off
back
in
of
an
the seat.
airplane. It's like you got good forward drive when you go into vortex mode. It's just
Oh yeah. Oh man. All right, yeah, and then a little bit the last couple things about you before we start going into the 2024 season, more detailed. So you got family, right? Oh man, now I'm having a brain fart on your wife's name. Izzy.
Lessie.
Lessie. And
Lessie.
Izzy's
My
your
wife.
daughter.
My wife Lessie, my daughter Izzy. Yeah.
There we go. Okay. And how long have you guys been married?
What? 5 years now? 5 or 6.
5 years. Okay.
Been married. We got married in 2019.
Okay.
So what is?
So that would be
5, 6, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I
You just
can't-
gotta remember the date, not the year. How
I
many
run the car number 3 because I can't count past 3. So it's just the easiest way to do it. And then Izzy's 3 right now, so she'll be
Okay.
4 in April.
And you won 2 championships in number 3. So 3 is, or what?
Yep.
Was your? Yeah, your car number is 3. I'm in the wing car. Yeah. What do you do for work?
I work for Heartland Dental out of Effingham, Illinois. I'm a senior financial accountant for them. I've been
Nice.
I left the public accounting sector 5 years ago now, and entered public accounting. I did some banking stuff. I did public accounting, went to the banking world, left the banking world, went back to public accounting, and now that I've kind of found my niche, I guess, in private accounting for dental offices, and I really enjoy it. It's
Okay. So you have like a region of dental things, or is it just for one office?
we got 1,600 offices across the country.
Okay. So you're
Nice.
kind of busy.
We handle. I don't handle 1,600 offices, of course.
okay.
I got a lot of awesome people that I work with, but
Yeah.
we all kind of break out. We've got, everyone's got 10, 12 offices that they handle, and yeah, it's a cool deal. It's something that I never seen myself doing, but it's an awesome company that, they understand work-life balance and give me plenty of time to hang out with my family and go do race car stuff on the weekends. And as long as our job gets done and the money keeps coming in, they're happy. So it's
There you
awesome
go.
to have.
There you go. And they said race car drivers' lives are glamorous. We're just like everybody else.
Yeah.
And then besides work and racing, what else do you do?
Work some more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to go hill spreading. One of my good sponsors, Joe Hill. I go and try to help him in the ag fields whenever I get the chance. I help my brother out at the bar from time to time for all the big events. Try to run. Not much of a security guard, but I'm at least.
I wouldn't pick a fight with you.
I'm at least friendly. I'm friendly enough. I like to play the old the roadhouse trick, just be cool. and and hopefully things don't digress.
Yeah. Yeah. Your dad's at sitting in your office now. Nice.
Yep,
Nice.
Yep. This is my office. I come up here and work every day from this seat. So yeah,
There you go.
I've gotten used to quite comfortable. You can see right here to the left, that's the old iRacing sim. We got it close by just in case we get a lunch break.
Nice. Nice. What else do
Smoke
you
some
do?
iRacing laps.
iRacing? Do you have any console stuff?
Nope.
No,
Nope. I don't
just
have any
iRacing?
console stuff.
Okay.
I do a lot of hunting. That's
Nice.
what as we were talking about earlier. Kind of once race season ends October, we open up for bow season here in Illinois, and me, my brother, my cousin, we love to chase some whitetails, and That's that consumes me for a couple of months of
Just
we're
not
past,
racing.
yeah, not racing
It's
stuff.
just not racing. Okay.
Yeah, I moved back. Whenever I moved back from St. Louis, I was trying to find something to do besides work and racing, and my cousin got me into hunting. So it's I don't know. There's something I always loved being outdoors. So I guess having both of my main hobbies being racing and hunting, I always get to be outside. So it's
Yeah, a lot of outside, mostly outside.
Yeah, there's something enjoyable about just hanging off the side of a tree and not super cold weather, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I like hunting in the snow. Hunting in the snow is a lot of fun. You don't get to do that very often, but
Nice. What do you like about the snow? Is it easier to track?
it's just easier to see everything.
See everything?
It's
Okay.
it feels like you're cheating. You got traction control. You can spot a deer from 200 yards in the snow and not even have to squint.
Okay. What's your biggest game you got killed?
I got last year my buck was like 158 inches, something like that.
158. Okay.
That's my biggest one yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My cousin bow too, right?
Yeah.
All you do is bow. Okay.
We do shotgun hunt.
Okay.
The shotgun hunting in Illinois is pretty limited. We don't get much time,
Okay.
and if you got other stuff going on, then you get out for a couple of days, and that's about it. We like to do a deer camp. Everybody get together for shotgun season, hang out, and
Okay.
it's
Nice.
just a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, it keeps you busy and out of trouble. Here's another question I had it right down. Oh well. All right, we're gonna move on here. All right. Hey DC, if you have any questions for Trace or Autumn or anyone listening, comment. See, yeah, for Trace to answer. All right, so we'll move into our first topic presented by Next Gen Pumps, veteran-owned, American-made, warranty like no other. If you need some pumps or Hoosier tires, check out Tom Brown and Silver Lake's Next Gen Pumps. This is the 2024 Steel Blocks and his 305 championship, or both championships. I forgot to mention that. So we'll start with the Lincoln Park here. So 305 Race Saver spanked him with 1 win, 4 top 5s, 7 top 10s out of 8 features. That's pretty good. not a bad wing. Season.
My one DNF was we blew the rear end out running 4th.
And that happened
from 18. I started 18th, went 18th to 4th, and blew the rear end out on a borrowed motor. That was the week after we wiped the cam in my motor, and Eric lended me a motor so I could stay in the points title.
Mm-hmm.
And when I put his motor in, we went out for the heat race, and I forgot to put the Zeus buttons in the radiator tray.
Oh.
And I bounced the cushion first lap of the heat race and sent the radiator through the drive pulleys.
So that was a pretty good weekend.
Then we got to put a radiator in before the feature.
Oh man, that sucks. Especially because it's like the little Zeus's too. I remember. I can't remember which day. I think it was one of the August races. It would have had to been one of the August races where we were talking at Circle City, and you're like, "Oh, it was." Because I was like, "Oh, you brought the orange car back," and then you told me you're like, "Well, blew the rear end."
Yeah.
And you said, and you told me like you pretty much had this one where you just had to start the last race. If you didn't have that issue, you would have had the championship zone up or something.
Yeah, if we didn't have that issue, it literally would have been just show up, make a lap, and sign off the trophy. But instead, we had to run. I believe it was Levi Hink. I think he ended up second in that deal. We had to run him pretty hard. That a track championship, Lincoln Park, and the 305 Race Savers. After we ran kind of a half schedule in 2023, and honestly, like after just running a half schedule in 2023, my hopes of winning a feature were diminished, and my thinking that a track championship was even possible. I thought we had a long way to go. We watched that 305 Race Saver in 2022 when we ran those steel block stuff in Austin's car. And I was like, man, this would work perfect. We could build a 305. We could put the wings on and run with Indiana Race Saver, take the wings off, and we have a steel block to compete with steel block series in. Like it's a 1-2 punch. This will work perfect. And we started running that Race Saver stuff. And man, I've never been a good wing guy in the micro stuff. It's out of, I don't know, I've got 50 some non-wing micro wins and 2 with the wing. And the two with the wing I won in Court's car. Like I wasn't even driving my own car for those because I just jumped in his car for A-Class and Outlaw one night and we pulled it off. It was
wow.
Just
Memories.
I've never been a wing guy. Like I just don't. It's not my thing. And to get the Race Saver win, to get the championship, it's huge. I was super pumped for that. Super thankful for Eric keeping me in the fight. Super thankful for my family for having to put up with that. They hate points racing. They say points racing makes me an evil person, and they're not wrong. I just get so worked up, and I live in the shop, and we pack bearings and remeasure, resquare, rescale, reblock 80 times over just because I'm a nervous mess. And yeah, points racing isn't fun, but it's awesome when you pull it off at the end.
Yeah. I'm the same way. Points racing. I mean, really, the only reason why we ran for points with Circle City was because there's only 6 races across May to October. I'm like, oh yeah, we can swing that. Yeah. But dude, come August, dude, I was just like, so July, I'm like, yeah, Trace, he's got it. Like, something's got to happen. Like, we got to find like a half second of speed or something in the feature to catch him. Yeah. And then August came, won that feature against you, and then I was like, oh crap. And I was telling everyone, I'm like, hey guys, it's just another race weekend. It's just another race weekend. And then we get to the track and I'm a nervous wreck in October because I was like, okay, he's in like a stacked group of cars. And I only have like Aiden Salisbury to get, right? And then I'm like, okay, he qualified 3rd. So if he finishes 3rd and we win the heat race, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna throw it into 1 in the heat race, and it's stuck. And I'm like, yes. And then the freaking yellow comes out on the white flag lap, and Aiden gets me. Oh man, dude. And then I'm like, all right, well at least we're tied. Like we didn't lose anything. And then that feature. I mean, I threw like 1 or 2, and I was like, all right, like I feel comfortable throwing it, but there's one where I thought about it and I'm like, no.
Did you realize that car was, before we got there, did you realize that car was bare frame like 5 days before that night?
No, when you pulled up, that's what I too.
Like I literally was planning on running my 305 car, and then we seen Ryland posted on Facebook that he was looking for a motor, and I texted Dad and I was like, he's gonna find a motor. Like, so that takes us. That's one more guy that can probably beat us. That's going to give him another point. I was like, there's only one option here. I got to put the DRC together. It's the only car that, like, it's the one thing that I have the most faith in.
Yeah,
ripping a giant and I knew there was going to be tons of cars that night, so I was like, the cushion's going to be on the wall.
Yeah,
like there's no way it's not.
And it was. But yeah, oh man. So yeah, let's transfer over to the steel blocks here at Circle City by 4 points. You said earlier, like I wasn't going to bring it up. I'll bring it up. Oh yeah, you got us by 4 points, 4 freaking points. But I slept like
2 going into
baby.
The feature.
I know.
It was 2 going into the feature.
It was 2. And
nobody was more of an Aiden Salisbury fan than I was during that heat race. I was hooping and hollering for the boy. I was like, get it.
Okay, so were you following the American Sprint Car Tour points before that? No, not really.
Think so I think I was out. I was out after Kankakee, I think.
Okay, so
because we had throwback races booked on top of American Sprint Car races. And we went to the throwback shows. And I had 2 305 shows too that got booked on top. So it was like
Okay.
We kind of realized after Kankakee when we didn't win Kankakee, we're like, we're not gonna be able to chase it. Like,
Yeah. So at Shady Hill, we won.
Yeah.
But Salisbury had to win the championship in the American Sprint Car Tour. So I'm like, he ain't gonna give me an inch because I literally like he I mean, if he would have beat us, he would have still lost the championship by like 8 point, or 2 or something like that. Like it was still really close there. But I was like, he ain't gonna give me an inch because I literally hurt him 2 weeks ago. Dude, that one car that was spun, I thought all three of us
I
were
watched your
wadding it.
video of that. Like, I thought you were eating him. Like, you pitched in, I was like, here it goes. And it was like,
because I was just chasing you guys,
Holy
and I almost
smokes.
got into Salisbury trying to get away from him too, because I was still sliding as Salisbury was coming down. I was like, man, dang lap cars sometimes, man. Oh, but that was a fun feature. But you ended up with 2 wins. It says 6 top 5, 6 top 10, 6 features. We had 2 wins, 5 top 5s, 5 top 10s, and 5 features. Earlier in the year, when they had the throwback in May at Circle City.
Yeah, I had that title wrapped up, and you guys
I
pulled my
know.
race, man. I had
Dude,
that.
So, all right. So funny thing is, we weren't planning on chasing points. Then we go there the first race, we win it, and I was like, hey, like maybe
now
we should try.
We got a chance, guys. We're in this.
There's only like 6 or 7 races. Well, because it was titled Throwback, I was just like, oh, well, all right, that's not the steel box. So then you guys ran on, I think, the May 17th. May 18th, I went to Wilmot to go watch, and I'm in like GA admissions, like to go in, and I look and I see that you won at Circle City last night, and I was like, wait a minute, did I just drop the ball? And I was like, dude, I literally texted our team chat, and I was like, group chat, and I'm like, yeah, so I jumped the cushion hard. Like, I guess we're out of it. So, I mean, maybe we'll, or whatever. But like, I never said anything because I was like, what, if it's going to go down to it, it's going to go down to it. If they're going to pull it. But it's like, I think Owen Barr was in it. Obviously Chad Freeman.
Owen was in someone else's. Chad was. That was the Roy Carruthers Memorial. That's like the biggest throwback race that we have all year, or we did last year. We're throwback Nats this year could be bigger. But that was like the big show for throwbacks this year. And yeah, that was a wild race, man. I thought I was on cruise control. Like, it was on the top, on the fence. They threw the green flag, and I just I blitzed like really hard for a couple laps, and that was when they were playing us on the monitor.
Yeah,
so I could see.
I love Circle City monitor.
Like,
I love it.
The last race of the year they shut it off.
Oh, maybe
we couldn't. It was just black. But for the Carruthers, it's like I blitzed got big lead. I could see I had a gap, and I just kind of went into cruise control on the top, not thinking of it. Eric Gentry subbed for Pittman in his car and started at the back, and they dropped the flag, and he's huggy pulling this thing with an absolute horse of a motor. Like, he's ripping wheelies down every straightaway and just huggy pulling this thing like full Shane Cottle mode at Circle City.
Oh my goodness.
And it comes down to like, I don't know, I'm out there cruising, and the car was gold. So even when I was like looking up at the monitor down the front stretch, it was blended in with the dirt. Like, I didn't even know he was coming until he passes me like with 2 or 3 to go down the front stretch in a wheelie on the bottom. And as soon as I see it, like, I blitz the top in 1 and 2, and I tried to go slide myself into 3 to shut his momentum down, getting into 3.
Yeah.
Slide all the way back up, and I hit the cushion, and I just watch him ride a wheelie down the front stretch. And I'm like, well, this is the part where we yard sale it or win the race. So I just went to blitz in the cushion for the I think he was popsicle sticks. So we had 2 to go, and I just blitzed the top as hard that I beat the wheel off the wall twice. Like, it was bent. It was but we won the race. I
There
guess
you
that was
go.
that was one of our funnest races of the year. Jason and Dan were both there for that one.
Nice.
Roy was a good friend of theirs and real tight with a lot of the guys that I'm buddies with in that group. So it was awesome to take them to victory lane. It was just a lot of fun. It was everything we did in the old 87 Nance. You wouldn't think jumping in an old car like that would give us so much fun as we had this year, but I really love driving for those guys.
That's why I went down and talked to you after the first race. The season opener at Circle City with the steel box. Like, I start first, you start second, and then you took off like a bat out of hell. And I'm like, what the hell is in that thing, dude? Like, that's a car from like what I like, growing up in the early 90s. Those were the cars I was watching up here. And I'm like, how the hell is that car that fast? So that's why I had to come down there after the heat race. I was like, whew, that was good. That was good. Yeah. So there we go. And then that's where it started. The battle of the century. No, my century. That was the closest we ever finished in the points. And my best second. First loser. But yeah, so we had Matt Humphrey finished third, Owen Barr, who won the Steel Block Championship. Not the Circle City Steel Block, but the Steel Block Championship. So congrats to Owen Barr, finishing fourth in the Circle City. And then Brian Schroeder. And then the only other two drivers to win was Harley Burns and this young buck called Rylan Gray. So
me and Owen flip-flopped. So like for Circle City, I won, he got fourth, and then for Steel Block Sprints, he won and I got fourth.
Nice.
with my two DNFs. That was fantastic.
I
had 3 DNFs all year, and 2 of them come out of the 2 of 3 steel block races. It's fantastic luck.
Oh, the other thing I was telling the team, like just throughout the year, I was like, it's fun to go down to Circle City and race in Indiana.
Yeah.
But it's just ironic when you go to the points and the top 2 are not from Indiana. In Indiana. I was like, that's kind of cool. But so what are your plans going into 25 with the winged and the wingless?
I got a bunch of stuff on the calendar. We don't really know what we're gonna partake in yet. I put out some feelers for Shootout and Chili Bowl. I was talking about doing that again to get my indoor fix. It's just not probably in the cards this year. We're trying to get we're trying like hell to get motors put together. So that's kind of like our all-in investment right now is getting some motor stuff together. I really want to do some aluminum 410 motor stuff. I still am going to keep, a throwback car with a steel block motor in it. I have my 305 posted for sale. If it doesn't sell, then I'll bolt my seat back in it. And I mean, I posted on the sale ad that 80% of it's brand new, and the motor has 4 nights on it. Like I could run all the next season with where it's sitting right now and not have to spend any more money on it. So it's like,
it's basically broken in.
Yeah. If it doesn't sell, then it's the frustrating part is everybody, if I've had $1 for every guy that's messaged me on Facebook Marketplace wanting to see the dyno sheets for it, or do we have, can you send me dyno sheets? Can you send me your setup sheets you claim to have? It's like, yeah, I'll send you all those after you pay for it and it's loaded on a trailer.
Yeah.
Like it's,
it's give them your worst one out of your book. Like, that's what we just threw on it that one night.
I'm not playing this game of like, oh yeah, here's my playbook. Don't buy the car. It's like, I'm not playing that game, but
$500 deposit to see the setups.
I ain't even playing that game. I was like, I got dyno sheets, I've got setup sheets, and I've got all the stuff to go with it, and I will give that to you the minute it's on your trailer and that check is in my hand or the cash is in my hand. Like, it's I am a pathetic wing driver, and yet we went out and ran 33 features this year. Or no, it was more than that because I ran the go-kart twice. So 35 features, 10 wins, 22
Yeah.
top 5s, and 31 top 10s. Like,
That's a super solid year.
it's a sweet piece. Like, it's a jump in and going. I mean, it's a legit 305 car. It's you can jump in it and run up front in it anywhere. So if they don't want to pay for that, then I'll just jump in it and run up front again. Like, it's
Oh darn!
Not
Good. Go get some more wins.
not to sound cocky about it, but it's an awesome piece. Like, so that's kind of where I'm at on that. I would love to run Midwest Thunder.
Okay.
I just don't know if we're financially there yet. If we get a few more partners, maybe we could jump on and run something like that. I don't really know, with Spiker leaving Putnamville now, that's kind of all up in the air with 305 stuff. We don't know what that's going to the new 305 series. Like, I know that's all kind of up there. I know they're going to have a lot of races at Bloomington and Paragon, both of which really tough for me to make, especially on Fridays. Throwback schedule's out. It's got a little bit more traveling to it. American Sprint Car Tours schedule's out. It's going to have a little bit more traveling to it for me to make. I think we've had the banquet for Steel Blocks, and Billy's saying his schedule's coming out here soon. I'm assuming we showed enough support with Steel Blocks at Circle City that they'll have some stuff next year. So
I'm hoping.
I'm gonna put a bunch of schedules on my calendar and basically play like we did last year of start out hitting as much stuff as we can, and then hopefully by April, May, June, maybe June, we're sitting somewhere pretty in a point series, and we can
somewhere, and then just all right, all the eggs now, all the eggs.
Yeah, that's what I did last year, and that kind of worked out. It's my checking account still is sitting pretty low after
it all
35, 36 features on a season, but hey,
can't take it with you when you're gone, right?
Can't just stare at numbers in a count and not go play with them.
Yeah, seriously. All right, here. So back to some comments here. We got your brother Wings belong on airplanes. Your dad after winning the B. So I'm assuming that's when you went 18th to 4th. That was after you won the B. You blew the rear end.
Yeah, we won the B that night. Yeah,
nice. Hero to from 0 to hero back to 0 all night. Gotta love sprint car racing.
We blew the whole cover off of it. I've heard of people doing that, but
there you go.
And
if you're gonna do it right.
I wish we could have just had a crew ready to go and just hot pitted that thing like Logan Schuchart and just threw a new set of gears and a new cover on it and just sent it. But I'm not that lucky to get away with that. It's
that's gonna be after your first million. After you spend your first million, then you can have that. DC here, David Crane. Thanks to both of you for carrying Kylie and Jeremy's sticker on your race cars this year. Well, thank you, DC, for approaching us because
we appreciate it, man.
Yeah, very. Your dad wing cars will drive you to drink more.
It's pretty accurate.
Yeah. I got in talks with driving a 604 wing car coming up, so that's exciting. Partial, so that's exciting.
I think doing the wing, non-wing stuff, and I wish more guys would jump. Like, I tried to get a lot of the 305 guys take wings off and come steel block racing because, I mean, we've had our best results with the 305 motor. Yeah. And then you have the whole argument of, guys, well, there's some open steel block motors out there that are making all this power. And it's like, realistically, though, the way that steel block motor sits in the car, it's such an equal playing field. Like, that's,
it's
your
heavy.
604 is very rarely a hindrance unless the thing is like juiced up all the way around where you can actually use the power. I mean, it's the 604 stuff, the 305 stuff. I mean, there's now Ryland showed up, of course, with a crown motor and showed us that it runs cushion pretty good, but I still don't, I didn't get out of that car that night saying that a motor beat me. I'm still thoroughly convinced that he just went out that much freer to rip a cushion than I did, because I was still thinking that I was going to have to do some crossovers with you and Aiden and run that damn thing through the slick. So I think I tightened up a little too much to run a cushion.
And I was a little too free.
The steel block is just such an equalizer, man. It's like with the way the weight sits in the car, And that's I've ran an aluminum motor in a sprint car a few times, not a lot, but it's a different animal. And I'm saying that I ran an aluminum motor that didn't make a lot of power, and it's still a different animal. Like the weight is,
you stand on it, the whole thing gets light. Like the whole car, you just feel it get up. It's nice. It's nice, but
you can run an old Dash 12 600 horse 20-year-old aluminum motor in a non-wing sprint car, and it's still gonna wheelie easier than ours do with the steel block motors, even
at
if
like 800 horsepower.
Yeah. You could do the same horsepower, but you put the weight on the nose, and it's just physics. It's not that it's not this magical formula. Like it equalizes it so much, and that's why I really love the steel blocks. And I think you can look back through history and see a lot of these sprint car series that used to just be steel block series. Like there used to be some really good racing back then, and then the aluminum motor craze got the best of them, and now we're sitting in
that
world
one series. That one series allowed the aluminum motor in it, and then boom. I mean, the worst case that could happen with the steel blocks taking off like big is you're going to bring the price down of aluminum motors, because as everyone's going over, steel blocks go up, steel blocks start getting too expensive, aluminum motors are down. Buy aluminum motor, and you can kind of play it that way, and that's how you can keep racing. Your dad head gasket was blown for the last 3 races. We were sweating it. I believe it. That's the worst when you know it. When you know it, you're like,
I could tell he was nervous every time we had to take the hood off to put more water in. He would give me that look like,
oh no, is this the time where we look and
we're putting more water in? It's not getting better. It's getting worse.
We're putting more water in it. Man. Deanne Weatherford. Wow, Trace, you are a star.
Oh, thank you, Dean.
You are famous.
That's my mother's best friend. She's I think I could probably kill somebody and she'd still root for me.
Oh, no, just don't kill me, please. I love racing you. Eddie, here we're talking about the American Sprint Car Tour schedule. ASCT is looking fun. It is. Our Ian Steer, this guy is up here. He fixed our ATV. Thank you, Ian, at the racetrack. Send them a pic of dinosaur bed sheets equal dino sheets. That's a good one. That's the move. Yeah, that's it right there. All right.
I think I talked to him at one point in time. I almost got a 410 motor off of him.
Was it the Mopar one?
No. I think maybe at one point in time he had a Chevy, like a 12 head and 410 or something that I was.
He might have.
I was trying to scrape pennies together to get my hands on.
Hey, if you want the motor that was in my car, $125 for a raffle ticket. My brother's doing.
That's a pretty solid deal.
And
604s belong in late models. What are you talking about?
I know. Carbureted too. Ugh. I was like not embarrassed, but I'm like, Dad, don't take the hood off. Please don't take the hood off. No, please don't. That's half the reason why I parked in the back, because I just didn't want people walking by going, what the hell is that?
What is that?
So Nathan's doing a 125 a raffle ticket with 5 extra pulls for like $750, $500, $300. So 6 people are going to make money off of it. So that's pretty cool. So,
so let's break the news. What are you putting between the frame rails then?
Fred Flintstone right now. It will be a steel block. It will be a steel block.
Sounds to me like the news is that old DC here is getting a hammer.
A thumper. Let's say that. I won't say a hammer, but
a sledgehammer. He's coming big. Dry sump. 280-2s. We are going big steel block racing.
Dude, if Trace built a car in the last week to beat me, now I gotta build a motor to beat him next year.
I'll show you, SOB. Let's go.
So we're working on that right now. But yeah, the plan is definitely steel block. and not the steel block weekends, then run the wing car at Wilmot. Your dad 305 was a ripper. Hate to see it go. I ain't coming in strong with the dad jokes. Yep. And
So you gonna run any 604 stuff up north then next year?
unless I have a ride, but
Gotcha.
yeah, 604 wing car. I mean, ran it twice this last year for Tom Brown, and
Gotcha.
it's definitely a different feeling.
Yeah,
Like
the wing stuff is just it's a whole different animal. Like
yeah, you're just
it changes
wait,
your
wait,
brain.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, not yet.
You got to reprogram your brain. I feel like I kind of got spoiled on the micro deal because we literally would take, I've got videos on my phone of us pulling in from a non-wing feature in the micro, and I've got 4 guys at my trailer bolting wings on to roll right back into the hot chute to go out for a wing race. And it's like, that's the micro world. There's guys that do that all the time. Like then, you literally don't even change bars. You change shock clicks, you put the wings on, and you roll right back out for the next show.
Wow. That'd be cool. But
it completely it makes it where you're constantly kind of reprogramming your brain to
not be complacent.
Yeah,
in
it's like you gotta,
yeah,
because you gotta really reset. And I mean, it's a lot of fun. I think it's super cool that, especially like you watch Shootout. Like I don't think a lot of people watch Shootout and realize that like the guys that make all 4 shows, like that is either 1 or 2 cars that are just getting pulled back in, wings slapped on, some quick adjustments, and right back out they go.
It's the same car.
And it's 1,600 competitors, and yet the cream always ends up being the same in those 4 Saturday night shows.
Do you think the Shootout's harder to win than Chili Bowl?
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Shootout, when we used to go to Shootout, that is a week of hell. Like you are there is never a time, like it's tough to like take a break to get a drink and eat something, especially if you're with a small crew. Like
Parkway in the back.
You're running all 4 classes, and you didn't have money to get a trailer spot, so you're parked back by the cold door, and you're shoving everything up like that. I mean, I ran that one year. I ran all 4 classes, and then my brother ran 2 or 3, and we had, I think there was the entire crew total. There was 6 of us, and 2 of us
only
were
2
drivers.
cars. And only 2 cars.
3 cars.
3 cars. So 1 backup.
No, I ran 1 car was for my stock classes, and 1 car was for my outlaw classes.
That's right. I forgot. Yeah, you got stock and outlaw. Can't do a motor switch in that time too.
We blew motors and swapped motors. Court yard sailed one in the non-wing like C main when he was locked into the A class qualifier, and I told him not to go on the track, and he yeeted one down the front stretch. So then we rebuilt an entire car before a qualifier. I mean, it is just like I worked Chili Bowl many years before I even got to run it, and the Chili Bowl atmosphere is 10 times more relaxed than Shootout's. Just madness, man.
Well, like you said, 1,600 cars, or 1,600 entries for the classes.
And you don't know when track prep's going on, so you're sitting in the chute like,
I hate that so much.
Sitting in the chute like ready for this like slicked up ice skating rink, and you just see the tractor pull out, and you're like, well,
do I get out?
My tools are a half mile back, so it's. Has anybody got an air compressor?
Oh man. Let's see here. We got Brandon Spencer, big wing guy.
Oh, Brandon Spencer is a big wing guy. Don't let him kid you. He jumped in a 305 this year, and he absolutely loved it. He's not kidding me at all.
His profile looks like it's either a micro or a midget.
He's a non-wing sprint car guy, like runs Bloomington, Paragon, Lincoln Park Speedway.
Nice. Oh yeah, Spencer. I recognize that name. All right, now
hooks me up with tires all the time. 2023
Nice.
steel block schedule. I ran every race on his used tires, and we still won that bad boy.
Boom. Yeah. So he's your tire guy. He's your tire sponsor.
He's one of the many. One of the many. I got a couple secrets in the back pocket.
Nice. Yeah, hey Autumn, I hope you're writing this down. Your dad, hell, or hell, if you'd take the hood off, the rest of us would have been embarrassed. Oh yeah, that's true too. Whipped our butt with a little carbureted feller. Yeah, that's another reason why I didn't want to. Was just like, I was telling one of the guys that runs up here. He was just like, "So did you take the hood off?" And I'm like, "When?" He's like, "After you won in victory lane." And I'm like, "No." Why would I? I don't need to get. I don't need to be plugged next time I come up here or down here. Like I don't need that. So no, I didn't take it off. He's like, "Does anyone know you had a carburetor?" And I'm like, I think one guy figured it out because Aiden.
Yeah,
because he had
Aiden beat me in at Montpelier in 2023 with a carburetor.
Yeah,
I mean it's
better. I think the carburetor is better for like new drivers, just because it gives you like that. You can't just smash it. You'll just blubber. So you learn how to squeeze it better. But after you get, if you do it too long, then I think when you get an injection, you just get too soft sometimes when you just need to stand on it. Less you hear the amount of walking back and forth is a killer. Then always get the Tulsa flu.
Yeah.
Yep.
Love shootout though. Tulsa. I used to love racing indoor season. It was so much fun. Like we ran DeCoin in the micros and the midgets. I've ran Dirt in December in the modified. The first couple of years we ran it. I've ran Chili Bowl. I ran shootout. Indoor season's a lot of fun. It's just we're not financially in that place anymore to keep chasing that right now. It's I know Ricky Thornton Jr. is, and he's still chasing every single one he can. I think Ricky's the only other guy that's has almost all those on his resume. But it's and of course he's won quite a few, and I barely win anything on those situations. But hey,
makes those wins that much specialer, if that's a real word. Eric Weber here. Shootout is for kids with energy. Yeah. Owen Barr. I always loved taking the hood off to confuse everyone. And he's got because Owen's got the LS, right? It's the LS motor.
Yeah.
And then your dad here. 1,785 entries for the last shootout. Craziness. I mean,
it's more than that right now.
For this year?
Yeah, I just looked it up the other day. It's
a lot. We're shootouts in like another week, right?
Yeah, it's the move-in day or practice first day this year is New Year's Eve.
That's right. And then they take a week off, or is it a week off and then the Chili Bowl?
Yeah. There's a week between shootout and Chili Bowl. That was there for a few years, but like we'd go down and we'd run shootout, and then come back home for a week, and then I would go back down for Chili Bowl to work on cars because I worked on cars for 2 years before I got to drive.
Okay. Nice. Ooh, man. And then Autumn here, Speed Secrets 201 in session, and that's about tire guys, tire sponsorships. All right. And then we'll just be our last little brief discussion here because I brought it up, and then you're like, "Oh, I have," and I'm like, "Well, we'll save it for the live, so I get the real stories in time with you guys." Trace, did you watch the Dome?
I did. Dad and I, Dad, and Court have watched the Dome every year since the first couple of years we ran it, and it's became just it's entertaining for us to almost see everyone else destroy that much. Like it's
you're counting. Oh yeah, that's a clip. That's 7,000. All right. What else?
It's to actually have sat in the financial seat and had to pay the bills on that stuff. It's like the dude yeets it through the fence and ends up out on the concrete, and they get out, stand on the hood, and they're like celebrating. It's like you just destroyed a $25,000 race car. Like, we're excited for that. That's what we're excited for. Like, I at least get more respect for the guys that get their stuff destroyed and sprint down the front stretch like they're chasing for a burrito and play MMA in the guy's window. Like it's
Dude, when I saw that, I'm like, so the cameraman's just like getting in real tight there. Nah, I'm not gonna stop it.
I don't.
It felt like forever for that officials to run over there from getting that guy to stop trying to tear the guy's visor off.
The frustrating part is the first 2 years that we ran it, like it was like anti-fighting. Like there were 2 or 3 times we wanted to tear some people's heads off back there in the pits, and it was all, oh, you touch anybody, you're not coming back out on the track. Well, apparently the rules have changed since 2018 because now we
need more fans in the seats.
Yeah, we got 30,000 people in the seats, and they want to see a fight in the infield. So get out your cars and throw down, boys.
It's almost like the dirt track version of Bowman Gray.
Yeah, that's probably
I like
the best.
it.
That is a perfect comparison. It really is. It's
your dad said the dome cost us $18,500 last run.
Yeah, who's keeping track, right? Right, Dad?
Yeah. Someone's got
Not like anyone's keeping track.
Yeah.
We had
for sure the wives are.
Yeah, that's no doubt. I think the last time I ran the dome, it was on Dad's. It was on Dad's tab, so that's why he's got the exact trigger on that one.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me go, Pops. Appreciate you.
Hey Eddie, was that just damage, or is that like hotels and like
that was like the whole 9 yards? Yeah, it's like, I mean, it costs us money to get the trailer in there. It costs us, tires. I get a real kick out of all these guys these days that put on like fresh bodies and wraps. And it's like, if you look at the last picture, I don't think I have it close here. The last picture, I took a car to the dome, dude. That thing looked like a junkyard dog. Like it had been through the whole season. Like we put the worst quarters and the doors on it we had. And it was just, I ain't spending. Who spends money on a new body to go and destroy it? Like it didn't.
Your dad said just motor.
Yeah. The last dome race we went, we did blow one up pretty good.
I mean, if you're gonna do it on the big stage, I guess, right?
Yeah, and we were. I think I really felt like we were on our way to. We were like one position out of locking into the show. Like it was gonna be. It was gonna be big. The old girl had her tongue hanging out, and she just didn't make it. It had a whole season of being ragged out and just didn't make it through a 10-lap heat race in the dome. It's just,
oh man.
I think that's something too people underestimate is like when you're in the dome and you like watch it live, all the modifieds and late models, like everybody is on the chip. Every straightaway, halfway down the straightaway, and like through the holes, just it's like it's terrible on equipment. It is so bad. And
so I was watching Saturday, because it was our Christmas party, and I'm like, oh, let me turn it on and like watch a little bit of it before we have to leave because it started at like 7 or whatever. So I'm like, I should be able to get a decent amount in. Dude, 1 lap out of 12. Yeah. And I was like, and they hit the time limit. And then I'm thinking, wait, like these aren't the first time these guys are on the track. Why are they putting new right rear quarters back on? Like, just leave it off. Like, that was crazy. Court here said $32 worth of Crown Royal that allowed us to drown our sorrows as well. Don't forget that. I mean, that's priority.
That is true.
First time I flipped my junk off. We have a living legend up here, Tim Cox. So cars on the shop stands at the back of our trailer. We still got the front end in, the rear end still in it. We got to pull that stuff out. And I'm just standing there looking at the car. He finishes, he comes in after, and he's like, wow, that was some ride you took. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, what do I do first? And he's like, here, drink this. And I drink that. And I'm like, all right, I don't feel the pain now. I think I can get through this and at least get home now. And $37 beers. Yeah. That's what I tell Ashley. Anywhere we go, like to like a Blackhawks game or Brewers game or Milwaukee Admirals game, I gotta buy a beer. Why? It's so expensive. I'm like, I gotta have the full experience, you know, the full ambiance. I gotta have that $7 beer. Yeah. And then once you get one, you might as well have two.
Yeah.
Then you have
Especially
the third
if the first one
period.
tasted really good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a nice cool air. Wish I had that offer after my first flip from Owen Bar. Yes, like hard stuff. Just a little bit, you know, one or two shots. It takes that edge off, and you're just like, okay, I can focus.
We yard sailed that one at Circle City in 2023. Dad and I.
Is there a video of it?
I got one on my phone somewhere. Yeah, I'll have to send it to you.
Yeah.
But Dad and I sat there drinking beers. I got the front, which when I say I got the front axle out of it once the tow truck got back there, I reached down and undid the Panhard bar and slid both sides of the front axle out of it. That was one bolt and the front axle was out. So that was easy. But it sat there like both rear arms are blown off of it. The rear ends has done like smacked the seat and like hit the fuel cell. And we sat there and drank a couple beers and watched everyone else pull out of the pits. And then after like everybody had left, Dad and I drank beers. And I finally was like, throw a chain on the bumper and just drag it in here with the 4-wheeler.
Yeah. What are you going to do? Hurt it more?
Yeah, we gave up trying to be nice to it. It was like, just throw a chain on it, drag it in here so we can go home.
Yeah. Now, is it me? Like, after you wreck a car, when you put it back together, you drive it harder? Or is that just me? Where it's like, it's not that it's not nice. It's still the same, but you're just like, I can do it again. Do it again.
I don't think I've had that experience. I normally try to wreck them first race out. That's my
first
goal.
Race out.
Yeah, it's like break get a good scratch on it right off the hit here.
Trace comes back into his pits. He's like, "Boys, we're good. I didn't junk it. We're good for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
We're in the clear. Oh man. Well, this has been an hour 16 here. This is awesome. So we're going to start wrapping up the show. Otherwise, racers will talk forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, which is not bad, but it is Monday night. It is the start of the week.
I think you and I together too are pretty deadly. I don't know how many nights we've had at Circle City drinking beers on the tailgates of the trailers.
Yep. Oh yeah.
I know there's been a few nights that neither of us got out there very early.
Nope.
I can think of one pretty clearly that Dad and I were even going to bed and we looked out the window and we're like, I think Derek's still out there. I think they're still drinking. They're still working on the cooler, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, why
drive home than we do?
Yeah. Yeah. We have some NAs because we have a few crew members that are underage. So like, I'll hit it hard right after, and then like start to taper off, and then start drinking the NAs, and then start drinking water, and then I'm like, all right, I'm good to drive. But in Wisconsin, they give you a 6-pack with your driver's test.
Yeah.
Like, hey, here, drink these, and then go.
You gotta make sure you can handle yourself.
Yeah, I mean, because I think, I don't know off the top of my head which counties they are, but the top 10 drunkest counties in the country, I think Wisconsin has 7 of them. And I know Racine's one of them for sure. I don't know why, but Racine is. But oh man. So like I said, this is the last episode. Oh, David Crane here. It's a Crane thing. Mehler too. We had some good old beers. I'm looking forward to next year. Just now, because like I don't think we're gonna be points racing any, because we got a baby on the way due in February. So like I don't think we're points racing all that much. But now I'll be okay to park next to you because we're not going for a championship. I should say the same championship. That we don't have to walk as far for the beers. But yeah, I mean the Circle City guys, like, Wilmot, I've just been parking in the back, and there's 1 or 2 wingless teams back there. So I've been like talking to more like the 4-bangers and the modified guys. So that's been fun. But like, that's just nice with the Circle City guys, like Owen Barr, Matt Humphrey, Randy Brill, you, Stewart's. Like, Stewart's
are awesome people. Chad Freeman, awesome.
Yep, Freeman. David Gross. Like it's just a lot of fun guys that are like, I don't know.
Greg Bear, awesome. They're just
Yeah.
it's cool to race with guys that everyone is just getting along. Aiden, the Salisbury family.
Yep, Aiden Salisbury. Yeah.
We race with them in micros. Like they're all awesome family. We love hanging out with them.
Mm-hmm.
It's just cool to be buddies with guys and then still go out, race your guts out. Know that you're going to get run hard, but no one's going to take anybody out on purpose. I think that's a general consensus with the steel block stuff is no one's trying to take anybody out. I mean, it's, it's at the end of the day when you're racing your guts out, everybody's going to make a little mistake every now and then. And be a little
There's a story that came to mind. It was the night that I almost drove through you because you spun yourself.
Accurate. Yep.
I don't know if you saw me. like when I drove by you, I was like,
I spun because I was about to send old Harley into orbit. Like I cut off in there trying to like get to the center and rotate, and all of a sudden like he does this like high entry diamond off, and it was like by the time, which my 305 car, once again, wing car, phenomenal brakes, amazing brakes.
Too much brakes almost.
Shout out Wilwood, awesome brakes. But I barely even tapped them bad girls, and I was staring at you coming in to give me a kiss, and
I don't think that would have been a kiss.
Yeah, it was gonna be a clip. It was gonna be a clip job without a doubt.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was that night. So you're coming back from the tail, and like my car was really good the first lap, or not the first 2 or 3 laps. It had to like get going. Once I got going, I was good. But like the first 2 laps, I could not hold the bottom for the life of me. And so we go in there after the restart. I throw it in there, get sideways, and I see Matt Humphrey stick his right front. And I'm like, all right. And he kind of drifts up the track, down the back chute. And then I'm like, well, I'm going to pinch you, buddy. And then I kind of pinch him. And then he comes back up. And I'm like, all right. And I pinch him again. And then the next lap, I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to wholesale it to the top. And I went to the top and actually got enough momentum to get back down in front of him. And then we got a yellow. And that whole thing happened, right? So afterwards, I was like, hey, Matt, thanks for not plugging me. He was like, why would I do that? And I'm like, that might have happened up north. Like after the second time I pinched you, I would have been waiting for the right rear. He's like, no. To be fair, there's a lot of good guys up here that wouldn't do that, but there's always 1 or 2 that would. Own bar here.
I'm about a 2-strike plugger. I probably after 2 chop jobs, you're probably getting served up a right rear mud cover because that's just that's I put the helmet on. I'm a different guy. I'll apologize afterwards, but
and that's why I went to the top. I'm like, if he wants to plug me, he's gonna have to really slide himself to get to me. Yeah. Owen Barr, first night at Circle City, Trey scared the crap out of me. I think that's when you guys were wheel slapping.
Oh, probably.
Thought we were both going for a ride. Yep.
Oh, yeah. I know what he's talking about. It was like right at the end. It was he got me. I blew the bottom right at the end. You were in the lead and gone. And I blew the bottom at the end, and Owen got around me. And when he did get around me, I was like trying to chase it up. Like to just keep running. I was like, I'll just keep running and he won't ever get, he won't ever clear me once to get back to the other end. And as I was chasing up, I caught the wall in the front stretch and that like instantly just ping ponged me right into him. And I really did. I was thoroughly convinced we were going for a ride on that one.
Dude, we're pushing back from victory lane. Now I have 2 crew members, father-daughter. The daughter has been working on the team for at that time only a half a season. Her dad's been on the team since like 2021, towards the end of 21. So like both of them never been in victory lane. So to do that, right? So we're all like jazzed up coming from back to victory lane to our trailer, and they're just like, dude, second and third, I thought they're gonna fight. they're gonna fight each other. And I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, dude, they were wheel slapping like all the time. And I'm like, I don't have mirrors. Or cool. But then I saw it on the replay on Circle City Raceway TV, and I'm like, yeah, that was pretty lucky actually. and Owen Barr, if you watch that race, like, yeah, we won that thing, but that was Owen's race. If he didn't clip that infield tire, he would have been gone.
I joked to Dad. I was like, the first the lap you drove around me on the top, I jumped to the top and I ripped one lap on the top, and the amount of profane language I was saying in my helmet, because I was like, you did not even, like, you missed this setup so bad, you pathetic loser. Like, he just drove around you like you're tied to a stump and you have nothing. Like, I hot rodded because that was kind of when we were still running the Nance car and not realizing how much forward drive we could put in it.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's like we tested at Putnamville to start the season and quickly found out that it's like, if we just do the normal stuff, it jerks the nose off so hard that you can't even get the damn thing back in the corner once you get down there. So it's like, I was trying all this stuff to keep it free, and then you just paint me on the fence. And it's like, well, we're going to have to go tighter than this, because this is absolutely pathetic.
Oh, man. Yeah, so we did
part of it.
the year-end video for our team, and like that was like most of like the highlights for our team was like the Circle City win, that first one. Because like, dude, like I remember I was like, guys, we can't stop to pee again because like we're gonna miss the drivers meeting, like we're gonna be late, like. And, you know, up here, if you miss a driver's meeting, you start in the back unless you call and tell them, right? So I'm like, we're just going to, so we get there. I run to sign in, go to driver's meeting. They barely get the car out. I'm like rushing around, do shot clicks and put turns in the car. And like, I'm like, how much fuel is in there again? And then we go out there, and then the heat race. I'm like, all right, so let's not get ran over for the feature. Cause so and then we win it. So that's why they're like, that was. And then, of course, after winning the first night, then everyone expects it the week after and the week after. And the week after.
Yeah.
But I showed them 4 nights in, let's go to the backup car. Owen Barr here says, I'm too little to fight. Oh, man. The short guys, I'd be afraid to fight. Because you remember, you can punch up. Like, you can use, like, I have to,
use leverage.
You can use leverage. Oh, man. All right. Now we're almost to an hour and a half. So, yeah, we're going to get out of here. But first, I miscounted. I should have had an accountant count my sheets. So I'm having to use last season's paper for notes and stuff, but whatever. So we are done for the year. So thank you to everyone that has watched and viewed on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify. Thank you guys so much. I know a few people have sent in that they screenshotted their Spotify where we're in their top 5 of podcasts. So thank you guys so much. I mean, you guys make it like the cherry on top because obviously racing and racers talking, we'll do it whether there's 5 fans or 5,000 fans, but it's just nicer when there's a lot more people enjoying it. Thank you, Chad Freeman. Chad Freeman here says, good job, guys. So we're done. We're going to take a few weeks off. We are going to have one episode in January for the predictions at Wilmot, because Wilmot's 35 minutes away from my house. So we are still going to be covering all of Wilmot's classes and stuff like that. But we also, for next year, are going to be covering American Sprint Car Tour, Circle City, Steel Blocks, as long as the Steel Blocks are still there, obviously, and also any Steel Block stuff. We'll be kind of covering all that news, so I'm really excited about that next year. But that won't start until May. So we'll have one more podcast here, and then we'll have a big break so that I can take care of mama and baby, because that's going to be fun and new. Very excited about that. So we'll send it over to Trace here to thank any sponsors and people that he would like to.
Yeah. First off, thank you, Derek, for having me on. As us both being Steel Block semi-professionals. I think I need to come back on in 2025 so we can talk some trash and review some get some races in here. Let's do some
Let's do it.
some hardcore steel block news. You know, us poor steel block guys, we get no notifications. So
I know.
no
Thank you, John
respect,
Gurley, for
no-
everything
yeah,
he's doing.
right? Yeah, thank you,
Like-
Gurley. Thank you, Billy. Thank you, Circle
Mhm.
City. Everybody for just giving us a chance. Once again, thank you, Derek, for having me on. The Woods Event Center Bar and Grill, my brother Court and Sarah, I appreciate them so much. My mom and dad, I wouldn't be able to do what I do without them. My wife, Leslie and Izzy. Thank you to everybody. Joe Hill Spreading, Kraus Towing and Recovery, Pump Repair Specialists Incorporated, Cuppies Paint and Collision, the Black Sheep Speed Lab gang. I know we don't get together near as much as we used to, but I appreciate all them always supporting me and helping me out here in the shop. CS9 Chassis, DRC Chassis, Lance Stillwell, Joe Henry, and Terry Cummins Racing Engines. Everybody that helps out for the power plants. Kirky Seats always keeping me safe. All the stuff that all the safety gear. Yeah, it's just been awesome. Timco Windows and Doors finally closed their doors, but I appreciate all their support right up until the end. KBC Graphics always making my cars look badass. I greatly appreciate that. I would think a bunch of shop companies, but I try about every single one under the sun, trying to get a little bit faster. Yeah, thank you, Derek, for your friendship and for an awesome year, man. I appreciate that so much. We had a good battle, and can still sit here, drink a beer, and have some laughs afterwards. So it's something that's new in my racing career, and I greatly appreciate it, buddy.
Oh man, thank you for your friendship, and also the friendship with like your family. Like I feel like our families, like my dad, as soon as the race is over, he runs down to your trailer. Hey, where's Trace at? He's been parked there the whole night, Dad. It's right there. You're not gonna move right now, but yeah. Oh man, yeah. So you said the guy that the designer that did the cars, like I called your orange one Orange Crush. And then I called the purple one, the CS9 one, I called that the Purple People Eater.
The Purple People Eater.
Because, man, dude, that thing ate us alive when you brought it. And then
my daughter loves purple. My wife and daughter love purple. That's when I started. I used to be all black and orange. We had to give up the pumpkin theme and go put some purple in there for the girls.
Nice. It looks great. It's a really strong car. And then social media for anyone that's listening and that's never heard of you that like to follow you.
I think I'm just on Facebook. I'm pretty old school. I'm an old soul. No Instagram. I have a Twitter out there somewhere, but don't jump on that. It's probably got College Trace Twitter stuff on it, so let's not venture down that road. Just Facebook. That's it.
Now I'm intrigued. I need to.
Tres Mehler Racing on Facebook. We got both of those. All of my awesome sponsors, of course, are on Facebook as well. So go give them a visit. If you're ever in the area of Crawford County, Illinois, stop by the Woods Bar and hang out with some dirt track folks.
Yep, and don't forget to say that Tres Mehler sent you. Not that you, but it's just nice for them to track. Nice for them to track. All right, on our side, I'd like to thank Kenosha Plumbing, Next Gen Pumps, Pullman Auto, RevTech Manufacturing, Rouge Helmets, Ashley Brief Photo, Painters Plus, Bang Nelson, Jack's Helmet Design, Pinnacle Media Productions, Daybreak Church, Mirror Image Coatings, Toro Tents, Hold My Beer, Bricks and Minifigs of Kenosha, Outrageous Apparel, Wise Guys Barbershop, David Crane, Kathy Crane, Kylie Crane, and Jeremy Crane, caninesforyou.org. Thank you to my beautiful wife, Ashley, mom and dad, Mark and Gail, Big One fan, Kyle, Nathan, Lauren, my sister-in-law, Cooper, my nephew, Caleb, Ladders, Dave Schutzen, Elliot, Hunter, Autumn, just everyone that makes this, Gina, and just everyone that makes this thing go. Brandon, Horswell helped me get everything to work for this weird thing that I was just like, hey, I should just go live and tell everybody how the weekend went. And then it turned into some guy that I race with, David Wallace, going, hey, I'll jump on with you. And then next thing you know, someone else is like I want to go on now. So then they had to get studio and all that. So thank you, Brandon, for helping me with that. And yeah, so thank you, everyone. And yeah, we'll see you at a track real soon. So thank you, Trace. Been a pleasure racing with you this year and talking tonight. So thank you so much for taking the time.
Appreciate
All
it.
right,
buddy.
guys. All right, guys. See you in a couple weeks, and don't forget to follow Crane Racing and Mehler Racing. Right, Mehler Racing, Trace
Yep.
Mehler. Yep,
Trace
just all of
Mehler,
them.
Mehler
Yep.
Racing, all together.
There you go, all together. And we will see you when we see you. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Peace out, Girl Scout.